I'm sorry, sweet mortal. A. The Wonderfully Weird World of Gumball Fanfiction. Written by Precious Piece of Cheese. And narrated by Precious Piece of Cheese. The original fanfiction can be found in the link in the description. This fic is an alternative ending of the episode The Letter. And this fic will also be referencing events in The Matchmaker. Please watch those two episodes before listening to the story for full context. I am not a professional voice actor, so I'm just doing my best. So hopefully you enjoy this story. As if anything couldn't possibly get worse for Darwin, the final blow graced him with such heartbreaking ferocity that he feared that it might have destroyed him completely. That Carrie thought he was unfaithful. The rage in Carrie's eyes told him everything that he needed to know, that he was dead to her. He failed, but not only himself, but her as well. Even if she claimed that she couldn't love him, he still could have clinged on to her platonic affection for him. But that was gone with the wind as well. The momentary relief he gained from realizing that he read the wrong letter evaporated as soon as it came. All his previous reservations were meaningless to him right now. Oh, how he wished he just sent her that God-forsaken letter and potentially made a fool of himself instead of losing the love of his life forever. He could have saved the embarrassment if she did make fun of his letter, but he'd take that tenfold if it meant they could still be together. Would she even take him back now that she thought he was a dirty cheater? Would she believe him if he tried to defend his dignity? Who knows? But the one thing he couldn't do was give up that easily. Were the odds low of Carrie forgiving him? Maybe, but he'd be damned if he wasn't going to give his all to persuade her back into his favor, even if she could never love him the way he loved her. Putting everything aside, he sprinted out of the classroom towards Carrie in a desperate, last-ditch attempt to make things right again. He simply couldn't go on if he lost her so easily through preventable circumstances. Darwin followed the trail of destruction that Carrie left behind. He'd never seen her do anything quite like this, bringing undead creatures and spirits to the earth simply because her emotions were too great. He knew he messed up big time, but he was still confused as to why this happened at all. Carrie did love him. He knew this for a fact. The day they got together involved Carrie's tears of true love breaking the love spell that accidentally, yet intentionally, made him fall in love with Terry. He remembered it all so vividly. Carrie thought Darwin loved Terry, so she forced her feelings of grief aside to grant him the life he desired, even if it didn't involve her. It was such a selfless act that made Darwin love Carrie even more than he already did. If ghosts couldn't love, then why was it her true love that broke the love spell? He just couldn't wrap his head around why Carrie would declare her disdain for love so passionately and aggressively. Darwin was never truly scared of his girlfriend until today, and he absolutely hated that feeling. Besides Gumball and his family, his own girlfriend would be the other person in his life that he always felt safe and comfortable around. Deep down, Darwin knew more had to be going on in Carrie's mind for her to act this way. This simply wasn't the Carrie he loved, and he knew he had to amend that. Darwin eventually caught up to Carrie without being mauled by any of the undead beings that she unearthed. She levitated high in the air, back to turn to him, and the most haunting, rageful spirit aura consumed the air that surrounded them. Darwin felt like that suffocating energy was going to pull the oxygen out of his lungs. His whole body was trembling with adrenaline, fear, and desperation, but he couldn't allow his fears to hold him back from what he needed the most. Carrie, wait! It's not what you think! Darwin screamed. What else am I supposed to think? You were trying to cheat on me. How can I ignore that and continue to trust you? She boomed in the demonic tone that possessed her rage. No, I read the wrong letter. That letter was never meant for Hector. It was for you. How could you believe that I would ever cheat on you, and with Hector of all people? The surrounding mayhem quieted a bit at Carrie's shift in mood, but it didn't dissipate completely. Then why did he end up with the letter? It flew into his backpack by accident. I never wanted it to be like this. Carrie paused. Why did you write me a letter in the first place? I just wanted to tell you the way I really feel about you, because I'm too shy to say it to your face. I spent a long time writing it. It ended up being a 4-page letter, and I even enclosed it with a kiss. I slipped it into your locker to make sure you got it, but after hearing how much you hated that stuff, I made Gumball take it out of your bag for me. I'm sorry that I've been acting weird today, but what you said earlier really affected me and made me question everything. Carrie finally turned around to face him, but she didn't come down. You were hurt by what I said? Darwin wanted to be mad and scream, How could you have not known that? But he maintained his composure. Yes, I was. It made me feel embarrassed for putting so much time into the letter just for you to go and dismiss the idea of it. I felt foolish, like I should have known better or paid attention, but a part of me just can't believe it's true. Maybe I'm delusional, but I always thought you'd like something like that. Carrie audibly hesitated before speaking. "Uh, I don't? You say it like you don't even believe it yourself. Ghosts don't like that stuff anyway. It's not like we should, love." Darwin studied her face, noting how her mask of stoicism was falling. He knew she was bluffing, or at least trying to convince herself on something she didn't believe. Is it that ghosts don't like it? Or do you not like it? There's a difference, you know. Carrie stammered frantically before spitting out an articulate sentence. Shouldn't the two be mutually exclusive? I am a ghost. I live within ghost culture, and I'm connected to ghost society. They're practically inseparable. I can't change what I am and where I came from. You keep saying should, like it's your obligation to do so. I'm asking you what you truly, deeply feel and desire, regardless of what ghost culture would want you to think and feel. Carrie finally broke. She fell down from where she floated and crashed down to the earth like a fallen angel at Darwin's feet. The dark aura remained, but Carrie was unpossessed from whatever dark entity overcame her. I want to love you, Darwin, but I shouldn't. It's just not fair to you to fall for an immortal being. I'm sorry, sweet mortal, but you can't do this to yourself. It'll only disappoint and scar you, and I'll be left mourning your absence in the eternity after you leave this earth. That's why ghosts shouldn't love. We are so acutely aware of the state of our being that we shouldn't place that burden on others, especially mortals like you. But isn't it better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all? Wouldn't you want to have experienced a brief moment of love in your eternity rather than never at all? Who's to say that I can't join you in the afterlife? We could be together forever, and you'll never have to mourn for me. Darwin was swallowing back his cries. But despite all of that, do you still love me? Don't say you never did, because I know you better than that. What do you mean? Don't you remember that it was your tears of love that broke that love spell you and Gumball cast on Terry and I all those years ago? If ghosts can't love, then why was it your love towards me that tore me out of that spell? Don't lie to me, Carrie. I remember everything that happened. Carrie paused for a long while, not daring to look Darwin in the eyes. She knew damn well that he was right. I remember, she whispered. I never told you this, but when I was making the potion, it called for the tears of someone who loved them. So I used my own. I don't think you know how devastated I was that day. You were the first mortal I fell in love with as a ghost, so everything felt so massive. Every emotion I had felt so all consuming that I feared I'd get lost in them. When I saw you and Terry kiss for the first time after being hit with the potion, I think that was the first time I ever experienced heartbreak. My heart breaks for you every day, knowing that we can't be and could never be to the fullest extent that you and I desire. I'm afraid to love you. So, you can love, and you do love me. So why can't you just let that be? Is the ghost culture really holding you back that much? Carrie, I don't know if you know what you're doing to me. How could you think that I could just walk away from something that is unyielding and sacred to me? What am I supposed to do when someone I thought was so devoted to me suddenly stopped loving me without a clue as to why? It's everything I've known for thousands of years. Do you really think I can change my mind on such deep-seated beliefs just like that? A part of me will always have the infallible bond to the place I came from, but then there's you. You're the one aspect of my existence that doesn't make sense to me. You're defying everything I've ever been taught. You've brought out feelings and desires within me that shouldn't be physically possible for someone like me. Yet here you are, holding my heart like a hand grenade, despite me knowing that you shouldn't. I don't want to hurt you anymore, Darwin, but please just accept this reality. I care for you, but I just can't be in love. Darwin was on the brink of collapse. Tell me this, Carrie. If you allow yourself the space and grace to love me, would you? If you get rid of all of this stuff that's holding you back, Would you do it? Carrie cried softly. Yes, I would. I want to love you, to get rid of all of the voices that tell me that I shouldn't. I want to give you everything that I have, but I simply don't know how. Truthfully, I only said all of that back there because I was scared and got defensive. I never truly meant any of that, but I pretended to believe it for so long that I thought it embedded itself into my character. Carrie cried even louder. Please, I want to read your letter. I want to know everything that you feel about me. I won't laugh at you, I promise. I just want to learn what it's like to love unapologetically, and I need you to be the one to guide me. I will help you, but just tell me that you love me. That's all I need right now. I love you, Darwin, and I'm sick of pretending like I don't. The clouds finally parted. The skies lightened up, and all of the ghastly creatures vanished. Carrie fell into Darwin's arms and cried within his embrace. I'm sorry, Darwin. I'm so sorry. I never wanted to hurt you. Darwin chuckled sadly. You did scare me back there. The thought of you eating my face was terrifying. Carrie smirked playfully. You know, I can still do that, just not in the way you might have imagined. She kissed him firmly yet tenderly on the lips. The kiss felt so strong and pleading that Darwin knew that she spoke her truth. It felt just as warm and rich as the first time they kissed on that fateful day. He felt Carrie's true love, so everything in Darwin's world felt whole again. Thank you so much for listening till the end of this narration of I'm Sorry, Sweet Mortal. This is the first time that I am doing a podfic, dramatic reading, audio narration, whatever you may call it, of my own work. So please feel free to leave your feedback in the comments below because I will definitely be reading all of the comments. This was the first fanfiction I have ever written for Gumball, and this was so much fun to both narrate and to write because I very much love the Carwin ship, and the inspiration for this story was because of how much I didn't like the letter, so this is a result of that. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!